Hi guys, Ms. Zadarin here for another day of poetry. And I'm going to start off this lesson with a poem that I want to show you because I think it's a great poem that shows, that sees the world through poet's eyes and that makes that's meaningful because it shows big feeling. So let's take a look. So it's called Inside My Heart by Zoe Ryder White, and it goes like this. Inside my heart lives one birthday party, two jazz bands, three wrestling puppies, four dancing birds, five laughing babies, six blasting spaceships, seven lucky fireflies, a sky full of stars. Okay, so that poem shows a lot of feeling, and the way that this author shows feeling in this poem is that she compares her kind of like her emotions, her heart, her feelings to the things in the world that make her happy. And that's what we're going to practice today. We're going to keep seeing things through poets' eyes and keep using big feelings in our poems. But we're going to try doing that by making a comparison. So this is our goal today. I can make meaning in my poems by comparing one thing to another. Okay, and Zoe does a great job of this by comparing her feelings to things in the world that make her happy. So the birthday party, the jazz bands, the puppies, okay, those are all things that make her happy. And she compares her feelings of joy to those things. So the way we do this is we kind of have to think of our poems, we have to think of them in two ways. So we think of poems, things we write down in two ways. We have ordinary language, which says exactly what happened, okay? Just like me writing exactly what I think what happened. And then we have something called comparative language. And that shows what the event, time, or thing was like. And that's me making a comparison to something else, right? So if I'm saying something just regularly, it's showing you what happened, that's ordinary language. But if I'm comparing it to something else, then I'm making it a comparison. So I'm going to show you how I change ordinary language into comparative language. And then you guys are going to try this in your poems today. So here's our chart here. And I have some phrases here that I have used ordinary language. And we're going to turn them into we're going to compare them to things using comparisons. So this is the ordinary language that I have. It says the children kept jumping up to say more ideas. Okay, you can picture that. The children are jumping up to say more ideas. Now I can actually compare that using compare it to something else that I can imagine popping up at the same time. And immediately when I think of kids jumping up, I see a bunch of like hands popping up all at once. And I think kind of popcorn, right? So I think of popcorn because it pops up and down, all that, things like that. And so I can use a comparison and use comparative language by saying this. I'm going to say ideas were popping up like popcorn all over the room. So now it's not just about children jumping up. Now you picture popcorn popping up, but you still get that image in your mind of the kids having ideas. So next, my heart was happy. Okay, you said what you meant. Another way we could say that is my heart overflowed with joy. Okay, we're comparing that happiness to a heart being overflowing with joy. When I get to class or school early, the classroom is quiet. So I might change this to, if the classroom's really quiet, when you're really quiet, when you're really quiet, you're asleep, you're sleeping, right? So I'm thinking that when I get to school, the classroom is asleep or it's sleeping, right? That means it's really quiet. The sky is blue. I can change that. That's just me saying, oh, the sky is blue, sure. That's ordinary language, but I can make it more interesting and add more feeling by using a comparison. Now, when I think of something blue, I think of the ocean, I think of a pool, I think of blue water, right? So I could say instead, the sky sparkled like the first pool of summer. See how that's so much more descriptive, okay? And last, the clouds are puffy and white. Yeah, that's how I picture them. They're puffy and white, but let's change it. And let's make it say, what's something that's puffy and white? And immediately I think of rabbits, kind of like rabbits and their bunny tails. So I'm going to say the clouds are like soft white rabbit tails. Okay, and that makes my kind of language that I would use normally in my poem so much more interesting. Okay, and now that I have all this cool comparative language that makes my poem have more feeling and sound more detailed, I can build off of these things to create an even longer poem, stretch out those comparisons. Okay, folks? So today I really want you focusing on making those comparisons in your poems. You might think of things in an ordinary way, but see if you can see them through poet's eyes and think, what does this remind me of? Help me picture this. What can we compare it to? Really be thinking, what does this remind me of? Just like I thought here, what do these clouds remind me of? And I thought, they remind me of soft white rabbit tails. Just like I thought this quiet classroom reminded me of someone sleeping. So now it's a sleeping classroom. It's not just a classroom. So folks, take a look. Remember, ordinary language says exactly what happened, what actually happened. And today we really want to focus on this comparative language, showing what the event, time, or thing was like. Compare it to something. Okay? Make meaning in my poems by comparing one thing to another. All right, folks? Good luck with that. Really be making those poems as detailed and as you can stretch out those comparisons.